Hello friends, welcome back to Techinisha where we make coding simple and fun. Let's start. Today's topic is microservice versus monolithic architecture. Agenda of this video is I will explain you what is monolithic, what is microservice, key difference between both of them, real-time example, pros and cons, and when to use which. Let's start with what is monolithic architecture. So monolithic architecture is nothing but like I can say the entire application is built as a single unit. Like all the features like user, login, order, product catalog, payment, and database are tightly coupled into one code base. This is monolithic. Example, we can think e-commerce application where everything is bundled together in one project and deployed as in one application that comes under monolithic. When we are talking about microservice architecture, so microservice is nothing but the application which is broken into small independent services or independent module. Like order will be the different service, payment will be the different service, user will be the different service. Likewise, each module have independent service which will handle a specific feature. Like for order it will handle order related thing into that order service. For payment it will handle the payment related thing for payment service. When we want to communicate between two services we will communicate using API. Okay, so this is what microservices. So into microservices, it's microservices we can manage millions of users and scale different services independent. Okay, let's talk about differences between monolithic and microservices. So when we are talking about monolithic, we have a single deployable application, whereas in microservice we have multiple deploy services. Monolithic is hard to scale, while microservices are easy to scale and independent. Monolithic has tight coupling between components, but when we are talking about microservices, it is loosely coupled. Real life example I can give monolithic a small online store built as one application where we have card, payment, user login all in one. And when we are talking about microservice, so Netflix uses microservice for streaming, recommendation, payment, and user profile separately. When we're talking about pros and cons, so monolithic pros is like simple to develop and easier to deploy, and cons is harder to scale and difficult to maintain as the app grows. Like some additional things will come. That time it's difficult to maintain for large application. And for microservice, it is highly scalable and allows independent teams to work on different services. Also, cons I can say complex deployment and needs DevOps expertise and require API management because between communication between two services, we need to use API. Through API only, we will communicate between two services. So these are the pros and cons for monolithic and microservice. Now let's discuss when to use which, when to use monolithic and when to use microservice. So use monolithic for small project, limited team size, and quick I can say application is very quick. That time you can use monolithic. When to use microservice, like for large application, we can use microservice. High scalability needed for that application, that time you use microservice. And when multiple teams are working together, that time also we'll prefer to use microservice. In short, I can say monolithic is simple, microservice is powerful but complex. So that's the difference between microservice and monolithic architecture. That's it for today. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. See you in the next one. Bye bye. Take care.